Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a general reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. There's a focus on fairness or something being equal or something even being worth it to you that you were doing. You may have been doing something before where you're like, you know what, this isn't enough for me, or I don't really like the way that this exchange is happening, and I'm seeing that you're going to be moving into a space that feels more equal to you, more valuable. I'm hearing Thailand. Okay. Something may have happened recently where you were like, that did not go as I expected. I'm seeing you kind of take a minute to yourself after this. You have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands. Let's see what this is about. Knight of Wands is about being ambitious. It's about going after what you want. There may be a project that you feel excited about, a project you feel inspired by. For some of you, this can be something that you are doing solo. You're like, you know what? I feel so interested in that. Every time I hear about this topic, I want to know more. I feel fully engaged. I feel present. I feel energized, things like that. You're going to be moving towards this thing. For others of you, this may be a direction that you're going in that involves another person. Can be either. Can be a road that you're going down solo where it's just you and your passions and your interests as far as this specific thing, or you could be pursuing somebody or someone's piqued your interest. I'm seeing the name Lex, L-E-X. Okay. Ooh. Maybe something's not going so smooth. There's a lot of passion here, but there's also a lot of tension too. So if this is you, you may have done something automatically, kind of without checking in and thinking about it. Maybe your body made a move before your mind caught up with it. It could have been something impulsively that you did. This could also be somebody coming through and you maybe having a dispute with this person based off of how they're acting. But yeah, if this is you, you may have done something and later on been I didn't really spend a time thinking about that. There may be some upset that's involved in this. Again, remember, energies can be reversed. This can be somebody that you're dealing with. It does look like someone is feeling out of sorts. Maybe even feeling things can't get better. This just is how it is. With the Nine of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, this is I'm stuck in a position that I hate being in, and I feel terrible because of this. However, I can't do anything about it. Now, whether that's just a mind frame and it's a limiting mind frame versus is this actual reality, that's another debate. Five of Pentacles can be a lack of trust for the situation that you're in, thinking somebody's got it wrong here, I'm not supposed to be here right now, feeling like that. Same old problems. Whoever this is that you're dealing with, this is not a new issue. This is not a new issue, but you may be trying to manifest something with a person. It's kind of somebody that you already know, the games that they play and sort of their MO, we can call it. Having issues because of that. Being time and time again, the same thing repeats with us. But then being in a space where it's maybe we can try to make something different. It's kind of this. These feel like ingredients to a recipe, and you're at a spot where it's you just have these ingredients to work with, and it's try as much as you are trying, and maybe you can put a little bit of a spin on it, but at the end of the day, you kind of get the same result because you're using the same ingredients, you know? So you may be trying to use these ingredients to like make something different, because it's like, and this is the motivation for it. I don't feel good about the way that this is, and so I want to make something different because I'm feeling conflicted about this. There's conflict with what I want and what is in this situation, and so I'm trying to rectify that. But again, like, are you just using the same ingredients? And then when you get the same result, being like, no, how did this happen? Meanwhile, if you kind of zoom out, it's like, of course this happened. I just keep repeating this thing over and over again with this person. I do get this strongly again, like same old issues with this person, of it being like they act up, or they do this or they do that, or like they weren't thinking, or like, can't you just be more mature in this situation? And then having fights because of this. So this is like arguments over, okay, if you're having arguments for fire purposes, this has to do with like somebody's energy and how they are expending it. They're moving around really quickly and like being motivated and being inspired, but it can be like unreliable. It can be like you say that you're going to do this and then you don't follow through with it. You got distracted. Things like this where you feel like it's lacking earth, it's lacking responsibility. It may be lacking water, where you're like, where is your empathy in this situation? How do you not see from my side of things? Like, can you not feel how I'm feeling? A lack of air, where it's like, did you even think about that at all, what you were doing, you know? And that's what happens when it's just like all fire and not a lot of anything else that's going on, at least in this particular situation. How it's being utilized, how it's being channeled. But yeah, I'm getting that this is like not a new situation for you. It just feels like a repeat offense. Yeah, look at this Mercury popping out. The Magician like definitely wanted to be out here. Yeah, you may be trying to like re-manifest something with this person and kind of like rewrite things, maybe even to reframe things with Mercury here. I will say this too, if you are not the one that's like, I'm motivated to try to recreate this narrative with you, this person may actually be coming in. But I'm seeing like there's still unresolved issues with this person. And so this is the advice, okay? If you have somebody coming in and you have not gotten to like the catalyst of the issues, or you have not addressed the foundational problems, you being like, let's just never mind that, because yeah, it's uncomfortable to address these things, but if you sweep this under the rug, it's going to be like poking your feet from underneath, you know? So it's something that you may be able to cover it up for a minute, but this is some really big tension, and this is not something that's going to dissipate unless it's addressed. And you may be trying to force a situation that's actually something that's not meant to go together. It's like trying to make something compatible that's not compatible. So something has to change here. When we have a square, which I see this energy, the 5 as a square, it's like something needs to be worked out. The whole point of a 5 is to motivate you enough to get you uncomfortable enough to create change, because it's not meant to be as it is. So something does need to change. Otherwise, it's going to really be rubbing you the wrong way. And with the Magician, this can be a mindset, how you're thinking, trying to get on the same page as this person. Working out your patience. Being confident enough to kind of state what you want in this situation and to not compromise. It's like, if about being in the Queen of Wands energy is like, if this isn't up to my standards, then it's just an incompatible situation, and it is what it is, and you keep moving. You don't feel like, oh, I'm the one that needs to change. And we're not talking about just like compromising with someone. I'm talking about something that really is not in alignment with your value system, and you being in a space where you're like, I know what I want, and I'm like confident enough to make a statement about that and to not accept less than that. Because what are you compromising for? Like, why are you going to take on someone's projected energy? So the Queen of Wands is somebody that's strong enough, regardless of gender. Queen of Wands can be literally anybody. Queen of Wands is about not taking on projected energy, being strong enough to understand what your energy is, what your preferences are, and like stay strong in that. To not compromise, to not bend, which I'm seeing is something that you've been working on, to kind of like be brave about that. And to know that you deserve what you want. And when you like really connect with yourself, really, truly, you know what's in alignment for you, and you know what's not in alignment with you. And again, like, this situation may actually not be something that's in alignment with you as much as you want it to be, because there's like a lot of passion, there's a lot of desire here. Otherwise, like, this wouldn't be on your radar, like you wouldn't really care about it. So there is a lot of care here. However, at the same time, like, something is not compatible, something needs to be worked out, because it can't just be as it is. Because it's in, like, you're in a disagreement with this other energy. Okay, you know what you want, you know where you want to be going too. Wow. Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups, Page of Wands, the Lovers. There is somebody that you want to be with. Absolutely. There's somebody that you want to partner with. Now, the basis of this is that, like, with the Lovers and the Page of Wands, this would be like a new type of relationship that you would get into. So you're starting something new with someone. This is what you want. When you check in with yourself, you're like, I'm here, I'm just coming out with it, this thing that I want. I'm very clear on that. There's no question here. I know exactly what I want. Every time I'm around this person, I feel excited. Every time I'm around this person, I want to like spend more time with them. I want to get to know them. I want to start this thing with them. So whether this be like somebody that you're working with on a project, it can be a partnership. It can be a new person that you're collaborating with. It can be someone that, like, this is a platonic thing. This can be a romantic thing as well, where it's just somebody that you're interested in connecting with, and there's something that you have in common or something that you want in common enough that you feel excited about it. Like, this can go somewhere. We can do something with it. It's like an opportunity to walk down a path. You and this person both see like 3 paths ahead of you, and you want to walk down path C, and this person wants to walk down path C, and you're like, you want to go this way, I want to go this way too. And that's what this is about. It's like you both want the same thing, and that is what you want. And you want somebody that's going to be like a partner with you, that's going to be doing that with you, you know? And it seems like that's what your intuition is kind of telling you. Like, look at this thing that's perfectly aligning. Why are you holding yourself back from going in that direction? What's that about? Because it's so very clear. There's like not a question at all. This is what you want. No doubt. And it seems like all of the pieces are falling into place. But now there's a decision that needs to be made. And this may just be like one of the interpretations of this. There can be many different variables. It looks kind of like you're growing out of like an old energy, like even an old paradigm that I'm seeing with this. It's like this spot where it's like there's a lot of passion and there's also a lot of tension, and it's like somebody that you feel familiar with the way that this goes. Like we're always in this merry-go-round with each other and we're always trying to make it work or trying to get on the same page. And then we go back to the beginning again of there being passion and fighting, and then it's like, well, this just is how it is. You know, it feels like an old paradigm, and I'm seeing it's like, are we choosing that or are we choosing this new thing that if you allow yourself to continue moving forward and you don't and you're not subjugated by the past or like this perception of the past and I need to do this because I did it yesterday. If you're allowing yourself to just meet yourself where you are in this moment and be like, what do I really want? It's this thing that is laid out perfectly for you. It's like, obviously, as like your higher perspective here, like reading this out to you, it's very clear to see there is something that is falling into place perfectly. It's just about you kind of getting into that space of being able to zoom out enough to see this and like allow yourself to give yourself permission to leave the old energy. You don't need to be in that anymore. Things are changing. So what do you really want? Like, are you ready to move away from this? Are you not ready yet? Are you thinking about it? Do you want to? When you ask yourself, when I truly check in and I say, like, what do I want? What is really resonating with me? What feels fulfilling to me? Like, what type of dynamic in this moment? What am I leaning towards? And compare both of these things and ask yourself where you want to be going. Okay, we are looking at Gemini and Mercury. A lot of Gemini here. You may be still like working with this narrative in your head of like, I don't really deserve what I want, or like I don't deserve to be happy, or like I should stay stuck in this thing. But it's like, why? For why? Why are we making ourselves do that, you know? So that may be something that you're working with right now, because I was seeing the Five of Swords, and that being like associated with the psyche space for you, but it's like something that you're working with. So this is like working on your self-efficacy, working on your self-esteem, working on a negative self-talk space, transmuting that. Ways that you can do that is like when you feel you're being hard on yourself, or when you're having like a pessimistic narrative. Every time you kind of catch those thoughts, you can flip them into something positive, and just do it every time that you catch it. It's one of the ways, one of many ways. But yeah, I'm really seeing you go towards what your heart is calling you to. And again, I do want to say this with the Queen of Wands energy. This is something that like you are doing for you. Like you're not looking for anybody else's approval. That's a big thing with the Queen of Wands energy. So this like new relationship or this partnership that you want to move towards, you're not asking anybody's approval for this, because you know in your heart that this is something that you want. Because when you think about it, it's like when you're all alone, laying in bed at night, and you are like thinking about the things that fill your heart up and the things that excite you and make you be excited to wake up the next morning. It's whatever you have going on with this person. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.